The brittle relationship between the United States and Pakistan is under even more strain tonight, with the US demanding answers about how Osama bin Laden could have been all but hiding in plain sight just outside Islamabad. American officials have held meetings with their counterparts in Pakistan, and it's likely the US Congress will rethink the billions of dollars in aid it delivers to the country. For its part, Pakistan's insisting bin Laden's ability to survive inside its borders for so long is evidence of intelligence failure, not a double game. ABC correspondent Philip Williams is in Islamabad, and I spoke to him just moments ago. Phil, is Pakistan likely to deliver America the answers it's seeking?
Absolutely not, for the simple reason that they absolutely reject the supposition that they haven't been cooperating. They say they've given the US everything they've wanted, that they have been honest in their dealings, that their intelligence services aren't leaking to the Taliban or to Al-Qaeda. So basically there's no point of contact there in the sense that they just simply don't agree with that argument that they haven't been cooperating. They add that 34,000 people here have been killed in what they call the fight against terror, and they are the front line, they're the pointy end, they suffered more than anyone, and they're quite offended by the proposition that they've in some way not been cooperating.
What are the difficulties for Pakistan in managing this fraught issue in terms of its obligations to the United States, but also to its own military and population?
Well, it's a very difficult situation for them because, on the one hand, they have got the pressure from the US and a very important, powerful ally, and an ally that's obviously very upset with them at the moment, but also they've got their own population to consider. Now, imagine if another state had launched a mission in Australia and the sort of uproar that would be would go with that. Now, there is great anger here. And in fact, the Foreign Secretary here expressed that and said that this mustn't happen again. This mustn't be a precedent. These raids cannot continue. And so they've got the balance of the anger in their local population of what is an unauthorised raid, but also the pressure from the US, who are a very, very important ally. When I say the word ally, at the moment they're rather distant, but they do need each other. That's the problem. The US needs a stable government here, and Pakistan needs their support. So while they may not be getting on at the moment, they still are odd bedfellows and really forced together no matter what the circumstances.
Is it believable what Pakistan's saying, that Osama bin Laden could have been in this location all this time without any sectors of the Pakistani intelligence community being aware of it?
Well, it's very difficult to believe that, isn't it? Because they're in the shadow almost. The largest military college here, training officers. It's a large military town, and according to the intelligence services here, they did actually raid the house looking for an Al-Qaeda operative some years ago. They say that happened in 2003. However, when you look at Google Maps, the place wasn't even built in 2004, so there's some big gaps there. But it does stretch the imagination to believe that in a society where information is tightly held, where people are watched very carefully, and where you are in a sensitive military zone, that nobody could possibly have known. On the other hand, perhaps Al-Qaeda played a blinder and stayed so close to their enemy they couldn't see them.
Phil, what's been the reaction to bin Laden's capture and killing among ordinary Pakistanis?
Well, there's a mixture. Part of the reaction is, from some sections of the community, is they simply don't believe it. And from that point of view, there'll be pressure to show the body, to show the photos, to convince people he has actually been killed. I would say the majority of the population, from what I can gauge, are pleased that he's gone. But there is still that Islamic militant section of the community here, particularly in the border areas with Afghanistan, who are enraged by this. Will no doubt be plotting revenge attacks because of this. How effective that is will remain to be seen. But very mixed reactions here. But in general, I can say that people are very, very glad he's gone.
Philip Williams in Islamabad, thank you very much.
Thank you.